Hey everybody, it's Glenn Ackerman with Energy Awareness Training. We're going to be talking tonight about your energy. Is it making you healthy or is it harming you? Very powerful topic, your energy. Now, some of you may know me. Oh, there's the light. The light has come on. Some of you may know me as an energy trainer, energy teacher, energy coach. And this is one of the most fascinating topics that we can discuss because it has everything to do with your life, energy. Now, so what do I mean by that? You know, energy, what's energy training? You train you to learn about energy. What is this? Well, when I'm talking about energy, I'm talking about the ability to look at life in a deeper fashion, to see a hidden reality that most of us don't recognize. So when we're talking about energy, you know, you heard that phrase being thrown around a lot. And why you should care about that is because if you're energetically aware and you learn the things that I teach, you're able to have a deeper sense of what's going on around you than the other person does. Because when you're energetically aware, you're able to see things that other people don't see. You're able to recognize behaviors, patterns. You're able to know where things are headed. And that alone is probably one of the greatest skills that you can develop, because life has patterns. If you haven't noticed it yet, life has patterns. Life has a certain way that things work. And nobody really taught us about these patterns. No one taught us about these energies. So it's kind of like the missing link in life. And when I discovered it, I was at a place where I wanted to change my life. And isn't that what we all want to do? Don't we all want to change our life in some fashion? Don't we all want to have more of whatever it is that we want? Don't we want to be more and express ourselves more and do more? Well, of course we do. But why don't we? That's the key thing. We do, but why don't we? Well, if you haven't noticed, whenever you decide to have a goal to change your life or to do something extraordinary that you're not doing now, maybe another skill level, or to maybe change your weight or get in shape or lose weight or learn a language or go to school, or maybe change your relationship, either get in one or get out of one. You know, you have the idea, yeah, wouldn't it be great if I did this because my life would be better, right? That's what you're thinking. If I did this thing, you know, if I lost X amount of pounds, you know, then I'd look better. If I look better, I feel better. Or if I got into shape, you know, if I got my body into better shape and started working out or taking my physical fitness seriously, I'd feel better. I'd be able to do more. I'd be able to have more, right? Same thing with relationships. Maybe if you're hanging out by yourself and you're kind of lonely, you thought, well, God, wouldn't it be great to have somebody to share my life with, somebody to, you know, to cuddle and snuggle with, and all the good things that companionship brings you? You think, hey, that would make my life better. The flip side of that is for people who are in relationships who are stale or not going anywhere or feel like it's a burden, you think, well, wouldn't it be better if I didn't have this relationship and I could be free, you know, and I wouldn't be tied and I would feel less pressure and stuff. So whatever it is that we're doing, that we're thinking about, it's all to have a better life, isn't it? It's all to have a better life. It's all to improve our circumstances. And yet, one of the important things that people never talk about in self-development is resistance. You never hear much about that, resistance. You know, you think, you know, you read the success books that are out there, and they all say pretty much the same thing. It's an interesting thing. I was looking this up, that the personal development industry, or the success industry, how to be successful, how to do this, how to get that, the big industry, has a 97% failure rate. Do you know that? 97 out of 100 people who pick up a book or take a course or try to do something to better their lives, 97 out of 100 fail or don't make it. So what happens? They go looking for the next book, right? Or the next training or the next technique or anything to try to have a better life. Have you done that? I bet you have. You had the book. This book's going to change my life, right? And it doesn't. Or this course is going to change my life, or this teaching, etc. And it doesn't. So there's one thing that we all have in common as human beings, and that's frustration, don't we? Because in some area of your life, you're frustrated. In some area of your life, maybe more than one, you're frustrated. You're not getting what you want. You're not doing what you want to do. And you've tried and you've tried and you've tried, and you haven't made it. It's like the people who are overweight who are constantly going on a diet. We all have friends like that, constantly going on a diet. They never seem to lose weight. Or somebody who's trying to get a career going, and they bounce from here and they bounce to this and they bounce to this. So all of us have something like that in common. Why is that? Because there's an element called resistance. And that's an energy. And we all feel it. You've all felt it. Whenever you've had a goal that you've wanted to achieve, I use the weight loss or get in shape because that's when everybody knows, right? And especially around New Year's, that takes place. You're going to lose. Okay, it's a new year, right? New Year's coming up. What is everybody? I think I'm going to lose this weight, or I'm going to get in shape, or I'm going to stop smoking, or I'm going to, take better care of myself, etc. And you do for a couple of weeks, right? And then what happens? There's something that gets you to stop doing what you plan to do. Have you ever noticed that? So when you're going to make a change out of your comfort zone, there's something happens, which is why change is tough. Change is difficult, for most people. And they try to change this and they try to change that. They take 2 steps forward, they take 4 steps back. Well, if you do the math, that means that you're not making progress or moving forward. So what is this resistance? Why is there resistance? Why can't we just say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get this goal, or I'm going to lose this weight, or I'm going to get in shape, or I'm going to, learn the guitar or whatever, and just do it? Now, some people do, not too many. Some people get a little bit of progress, but isn't it mostly back and forth? It's back and forth. You do it, then you don't. Then you do it, then you don't. And you mean to do it, but things get in the way, and you were going to work out tonight, or you were going to take the dance class, but darn it, you got busy at work, and then, one thing led to another, and you missed your workout or you missed your practice, right? We all know that. And no one ever talks about that. Everybody thinks, when you hear the videos, you read the success books, the videos of people, with the Rocky music, dun, 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 it's like they show the montage of the Rocky movies. I don't know if you ever saw that, and it shows them in transform himself from not being in shape to being in super shape in 5 minutes. Wow, that was quick, right? But that doesn't happen in real life, does it? So all of us, pretty much every day, are trying to figure out, how do we improve? How do we get a better life? I'm here and I want to be here. And I've tried to get up there, but I keep sliding back, right? You get up there and you keep sliding back. Why is that? Well, It's because there's an energy that is in opposition to what you want to do. Now, let's get back to energy awareness training. See, when I say that I teach energy awareness training, people go, what's that? Energy awareness training, I don't like that. Well, now I just give you a definition that there's a process that you're in that all of us human beings experience, but we don't know exactly how it works. Like, for example, we know change is hard. We don't know why it is, right? We don't know why change is hard. We just know that when we try to change, it's tough. It's easy the first couple of weeks, and then it gets tough. You ever had a breakup? You're with a boyfriend or girlfriend, it gets getting kind of stale, and you're looking around and you're thinking, I think I can do better than this. I don't think this relationship is working for me. So I think we better see other people, right? And you just be friends. So you break up. And you think, and then when you break up, you're like, oh, I'm free. Finally, I'm free, and I can be what I want to be and go what I want to do. I'm not tied to this relationship anymore, right? Then what happens, and it's good for a week or two or three, but what's happened? What happens? There's another energy, or a force that says, well, gee, maybe I was a little hasty. You get lonely one night, or the weekend comes and you don't do your normal relationship routine, and you're kind of by yourself, and then you think, well, gee, I kind of miss, I miss the relationship. So in other words, another reality starts to arise, and it's different from your original reality, right? The original reality that had you break up was, I'm getting tired of this. I'm feeling stuck. It's not working out. It's not going anywhere, right? And then you do it. You make the decision to move forward. And then a couple of weeks later, another energy comes up that says, geez, maybe I had a good thing. I'm lonely. I'm by myself. I'm horny. I want some companionship. But, I wonder what they're doing. Then you start thinking, maybe breaking up wasn't such a good idea. Maybe we should get back together. And how many times have you done that? Back and forth and back and forth. You notice that happens with every major change we do. Happens with every major change you do. A lot of us, you go to school, you go to college, or you start taking a course. Does this ever happen? You're taking a course and you go, oh, I just wanted to take this course and learn this skill or this thing. Maybe it's a 20-week course or something where you have to learn it. So you go, yeah, I'm going to learn how to, learn this thing or learn that thing. And you're all gung-ho, right, for 4 or 5 classes, Then you get into it for a while, and then it's like, oh, it's work. It's tough. It's kind of a drag. I don't like going out after work. And all of a sudden, this energy comes up. Do I really want to do this? Am I serious about this? Right? And a lot of people quit. They quit everything. So you wonder why this happens. Well, now I can talk to you about energy awareness training and what it means to be energetically aware. Because there are things that we can figure out in life, in this world, right? Because what we're taught when we go to school is 2 + 2 is 4, A + B equals C. We're taught a linear, logical approach to living life. And through school, what do we normally say? Well, figure it out. I go, we'll just figure it out, right? Using a logical approach. Well, one day, I don't know when that day is, but you realize that approach only works for things that are logical and linear. But there's a whole side of life that isn't logical, that isn't linear, that you didn't learn the rules to, and you were never taught on how to deal with it. And therein lies the challenge of living, of moving, living this life and trying to overcome and deal with stuff that comes our way. And that's why I developed energy awareness training to be able to deal with stuff that no one ever taught us about, and to recognize that there are hidden energies inside us. Hidden, you can call them motivations, uh, influences. I call it energies. Why? Well, Nikola Tesla, the famous inventor, not they named the car for him. He wasn't the car maker, but you may have heard of his famous scientist. And he said, if you really want to understand the mysteries of life, that means the things that we don't know the answers to. That means the things that we haven't figured out, such as romance, relationships, dealing with our emotions, dealing with situations that don't go our way. All of the stuff that challenges us, that puts us in a place of things coming to us that we're out of control with. No one teaches us how to deal with that kind of stuff. It's called stress, also known as anxiety, worry, doubt, fear. All of this stuff that doesn't feel good. Now, Tesla said that if you want to really understand the mysteries of life, then you'll start to look at things in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. You may have heard that quote. It's all over the internet whenever you see Tesla's name. That inspired me because it led me to understand that there is a way that there's a way to comprehend this area of life that no one taught us how to deal with. That it's a free-for-all. Everybody deals with stuff differently, mostly not successfully. That's where the anxiety and stress comes from. They deal with unsuccessfully because when we deal with stuff that we don't like, we're not sure, or that isn't going the way we want to, what do? Well, everybody does different things, but usually it's not healthy. So, in terms of the breakup, for example, dealing with the breakup, boy, I tell you, the first time, I went through a breakup, holy smokes, I'd never known such kind of pain before. And I thought, how'd this happen? Went out with this great girl. I remember it was in high school. You go out with this great girl, and everything's great between you. She likes you, you like her. It's lovey-dovey. You get butterflies in your stomach. You're holding hands. You're, going out on the weekends, listening to the songs on the radio. It's just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Until one day it isn't. Until one day it's over. She goes like somebody else. It's over. You're away. It's just boom, boom, gone. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't want this thing to end. I liked it. What happened? You ever had somebody break up with you? You're like, what happened? Everything was going so great. Didn't you say you loved me? Didn't you say you could see spending the rest of your life with me? And the one day you say it's over, or you met somebody else, or you're moving away, especially for guys. Girls kind of know when things are going to go sideways, and they can kind of measure. They're good at seeing when something's going to end, and guys don't have a clue. Figure out, she was nice to me yesterday, I guess it's still on today, right? So I'm mentioning that because, wow, if you've ever gone through that, you're like, whoa, what's happening to me? Your insides go upside down and go kind of haywire. And you got this process going on that you don't like. You don't like the way you feel. It's just like, whoa, you've never known it before. And there's no formula until energy awareness training to deal with that. Right? when you're going through a breakup and you're just going your poor friends, they're listening to you. Oh, she loved me. What happened? I don't know. Just round and round. You have that experience. And what's the solution? What do they tell you the solution is? Oh, you'll get over it. Remember that? You'll get over it. Oh, well, but I feel so bad. Oh, you'll get over it. That's no solution, right? So, what do people typically do? Well, besides, crying your eyes out, a lot of people numb themselves, with alcohol or smoking dope, get high all the time, or immediately go out and try to find another relationship. I always like that one. When someone goes through a big breakup, right, and they're just emotionally raw and wounded, especially guys. When they have this breakup, what's the first thing they want to do? They want to go out and get another girl. I go, gee, maybe you ought to give it a rest for a little bit, and kind of recoup. So I'm mentioning this to you guys just to give you a little insight on energy awareness, because these things that we're dealing with, it's an energy. You're dealing with these energies, and this is what Tesla was talking about. He was talking about that the mysteries of life, in other words, the things that aren't logical, the things that we can't figure out, that those things, they have a code to them. They have a frequency. They have a vibration. Now, he didn't tell you exactly what the vibration is or the frequency, but he said they have a code and a frequency and a vibration. So if you look at it that way, that's the clue. Gave you the clue. So what I did was I went, whoa, okay, there's a clue to this. That means that this mysterious energy or these things that I'm talking about, that there's no real way to deal with them. Again, we're talking about dealing with your emotions, dealing with adversity, dealing with stuff that's out of your control. You go, you look at how to deal with it. Most of the people just say, well, just get over it. Oh, okay. Somebody, God forbid, shoots you and you go, oh, I'm bleeding here, go to the hospital. Can you imagine if they said, oh yeah, you're bleeding, just get over it. Yeah. Oh, okay. But what about my condition here? So there has to be a better way. And when you're energetically aware, you recognize that all of these factors that we're dealing with, they're energies. So what I did, I took Tesla's formula and I expanded it into energy awareness training, which I said that all energies, especially the ones that we're dealing with, actually pretty much everything is energy that we're dealing with: people, places, things, activities, but also emotions, feelings, sensations. Those are all energies too. And no one ever told us how to deal with them. Wow, what's the deal? What's the deal here? Well, in energy awareness training, what I did was I recognized that all energies have a power, they have a purpose, they have a direction, and they vibrate at a certain code or frequency, and they give you off information. Okay? So I've taken what Tesla said, I've expanded it, I've innovated. Energy has a power, a purpose, a direction, a frequency, and it gives off information. Now, what I just told you, if utilized, can give you X-ray vision into people, behaviors, business, health, because they operate at a hidden level. They recognize a hidden level. Hidden level. What do I mean by a hidden level? So everything that you see in the physical world, including people, everything that's physical once upon a time was non-physical. Everything that you see came from a realm of the unseen. And that's not spooky, it's just the reality. the computer that you're looking at me on, or the phone you're watching me on. Once upon a time, that didn't exist. Once upon a time, that was just an idea in somebody's mind that said, let's make something called a computer. Or, oh, what do we got to do? Well, we got to get some metal, and we got to get a circuit board, and we got to get all these things together, assemble it, and from the thought, from the invisible, unseen thought, which you can't see, the thought became reality. The thought became physical. You and I, we didn't exist physically. Energetically is another matter that we'll talk about in another video. But physically, you and I didn't exist, right? 9 months before we came into the world. Whatever, 9 or 10 months if you're premature. But what happened? Well, mom and dad went out one night, had a great time, and came home and were feeling pretty frisky. Had some great ideas for fun and frolic, and 9 months later, here we come. So why is that important? It's important because everything that you're seeing here in the physical world was created by an unseen thought, formula, or energy. That means if it was created by an unseen factor or force, and if there's a problem with it, which there usually is, right? With either our health, God forbid, relationships or money, or something's out of whack in life, because nobody gets a free ride in life. It's another thing they didn't tell you. Nobody gets a free ride. Nobody gets through this life here scot-free. And that's a delusion that we've had. You see people on, Facebook or Instagram, they got the great life, they're driving the car, they're living in the mansions, and they don't have to work, and think, oh, they got a great life. No, they're not exempt. You're not exempt. I'm not exempt from challenge, from trauma, from suffering, from stuff that is unpleasant. That's part of the human experience, because there's a pattern here of why we're here in this world. There's a reason we're here, and there's an order that we're moving through energetically. And part of that we're moving through is the prime issues that are issues in your life right now. Issues, and everybody has their own issue. Maybe making money is an issue for some person. Making a living, just can't make a living. That's a living. Okay, that's an issue. So somebody has an issue with their weight, or their self-esteem, or their body image. They got everything else handled, but that one, that's not handled, right? Or relationships. People have challenges with relationships, just can't get it going the way you want it to, just like this. And so all of us have that, and nobody's exempt for it. And boy, that was a big relief when I found out that, because I thought everybody's so normal, I'm the one that's screwed up. Wow. You might think, oh, everybody looks so happy and normal, and they don't have the voices in my head that are putting me down and telling me I'm not good enough and I'm never going to do it. And, no, everybody does to some degree. That's the human experience. But no one ever talked about that. Well, I'm talking about it. And that's what energy awareness training is talking about. It's about recognizing that you're an energetic being. Have you ever been called that? Probably not. But you're an energetic being. You are a container. Your body contains your energy. And energy has different forms. But whatever form it takes, it's also present inside everyone, because we all have an energetic operating system. Just like your computer does, you've got an energetic operating system. Now, you may like it, You may not. Most people like it a little bit, but thinks it needs a lot of work. Well, all human beings and their operating system needs work because that's what we're here for. We're here to deal with the issues that we come to this planet to deal with. And everybody's got them. Your dad, your mom, your brother, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, everybody's got something that they're dealing with. You may know it, you may not know it, but everybody's got a challenge because we're all part of the human race. And the cool thing about energy awareness is that it identifies what those things are and how to deal with them. And that's one of the reasons why I do this work and why I promote energy awareness and why it's a training. Because it's not just you learn one thing, oh, you're an energetic being. I just taught you that tonight, which means everything about you creates energy. Your bodies are energy, your thoughts are energy, your emotions, your behaviors are energy, activities, everything that we're doing, we're living in an energetic planet. Should have been called planet energy, not planet Earth, planet energy, because this whole planet is one big energetic interaction. And most people don't know that. Or they have a limited concept of it, but don't recognize whatever your challenge is, it's energetic. You got a relationship challenge, it's energetic. You got a money challenge, it's energetic. You got a health challenge, it's energetic, because energy is the unseen force that drives physicality. Well, if you learn one thing from this video tonight, recognize that everything you see in this world and everything that we're dealing with is driven by an unseen force. Now, we just happen to be in the middle of a pandemic, right? Which is a great example of what I'm talking about. When everything's going great, everybody's fine. But when things happen that are out of our control, we don't like that. And in fact, it takes us to a place where our energy can be dark or unhealthy. That's one of the things we do in energy awareness training. We identify you've got a lot of energies that are operating in you. Would it be a good idea to know what they are, how they work, how they're affecting you? Because you're being affected by energies every day, whether you know it or not. Some you do know, many of them you have no idea. You have no idea that there are independent energies inside you that are operating with an agenda. You go, wow, there are energies inside me that are operating with their own agenda? Yeah. How do I know that? You know how you can know that? Because if you're doing anything that you know you shouldn't be doing and you're doing it anyway, those energies are operating inside you. If you got a habit that's destructive, that you want to quit but you haven't been able to, that's an example of it. If you're in any kind of relationship that you know is not good for you and that you probably should have ended it a long time ago and you still do it, those are the energies working. So all of us are walking tug of wars energetically. And this is why you should learn energy awareness training. I mean, self-development, personal growth, billion-dollar industry. And not one of these people, not one of these industries ever talk about energy, which is the building blocks of everything that we do as human beings. Even psychology. I took psychology in college. Maybe you did too. Did they talk about energy once? No. Not once. Talk about the mind, and they talk about things, and they talk about theories, and they talk about Freud, and they talk about Jungian dream theory, and what's that guy's? Gonna remember it. The box, I forget it. Anyway, so theory never mentioned about energy. So I mentioned the COVID because what are we doing now? All of us are being affected by an invisible energy. You can't see it. I guess if you have a super microscope, you can see it, but most of us can't see it. So this is an example of we're being affected by energies, by a substance that I call an energy that has a power, a purpose, a direction, a code or a frequency that gives off information. And when it comes to the COVID, it's powerful, you bet. It's got a location which is everywhere. It's got a direction which is it's coming our way. And where does it want to take us? It wants to take us down. And the information is don't get it or you'll regret it. So that's how that's an idea. It's an example of how we're being affected by invisible energies. So I could give you example after example, but I just wanted to open up a little bit for you guys here on evening to become energetically aware. I'm going to be presenting more and more classes and videos on the importance of being energetically aware, because the degree that you're energetically aware is the degree of your happiness. The degree that you're energetically aware is the degree of your happiness. If you're not happy, or if there's some things happening that make you miserable, you're not energetically aware. Meaning that you don't know how to identify the healthy energies from the unhealthy energies, and you don't know what to do about it. And that's the key thing. Being energetically aware and knowing what to do with the energies once you identify them, because they're healthy energies that are good for you. Those are the ones we want. And they're unhealthy energies or dangerous energies that we want to be aware of and stay clear of. And if we're under the influence, we want to neutralize them. Okay, that's going to give you a little eye opener about energy tonight. If you want further information about this, I have a website called energyawarenesstraining.com, energyawarenesstraining.com. And if you enjoy the video, go ahead and like it and give me a comment and let me know what you thought about it. If you have any questions about this, go ahead and shoot them to me here, either on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, and happy to answer them. You can communicate with me. Love to hear what you have to say. And my goal is to make the world energetically aware, because when you're energetically aware, you're prepared for whatever comes your way. None of us saw this virus coming, yet I knew back about a year ago that 2020 was going to be a big shift year. I knew it, and I told my students about that. Now, I knew the shift was coming. This is the biggest shift I've ever seen. But I knew a shift was coming. Why? Because energy has patterns. And if you can read those patterns, you can know what's up ahead. Would that be beneficial for you to know what's up ahead? If you're in a relationship, would it help you to know if your partner is satisfied or not satisfied if they don't tell you, right? Or if they're with you or they're, cheating with somebody else? Would that be in good information to know? How about a business investment? Would that be good to know? Would it be good to know where things are headed? I'm not saying that I'm a fortune teller, but you can know energetically what's up ahead, kind of like the weather. If it's a cloudy day, and you hear thunder in the background, well, it's pretty much going to rain, right? Well, it's the same thing with energy, only it's more subtle. It's not so obvious, but it can be read, if you're interested in it. And that's what I've made my work about, is recognizing the energetic patterns in human beings and in life, and how to master them, master your energy, so that you can have a wonderful life and you can make changes. When you're energetically aware, you can make changes very rapidly and more easily than you've ever had before. And that's what we want. We're going to go through a big change right now this year. We're in a place where we've never been before. And even though this is a time of adversity, it's also a time, it's also showing, just like a rainy day, that rainy day is going to bring out a rainbow if you're aware of that. If you think it's going to rain forever, you're going to be miserable. But if you know that rainy day is going to eventually subside and there's going to be a rainbow and sunshine coming out, you want to be prepared for that. And that's what I'm telling my students. But I think I've given you enough for tonight. So stay in touch with me. Be energetically aware. Have yourselves a great weekend. And remember, nothing changes until energy moves. Okay, that's my motto. Nothing changes. You're not happy with this. You're not happy with that. You're not happy with this situation. Great, but nothing will change unless you move the energy and take some action. With that, I want to wish you a great night. It's Glenn Ackerman, Energy Awareness Training, signing off. God bless. Talk soon. Bye for now.